Welcome to Beyond Vision Mindset. If you're someone who values integrity, personal growth, and mental strength, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into one of the most important topics that will change the way you approach your life: the 4 things you should never sacrifice for anyone, as taught by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. The idea of sacrifice is often celebrated in society, and we're told to compromise for the sake of others, but Stoicism challenges that. It teaches us that there are certain things, your values, your peace of mind, and your purpose, that are far too important to give up under any circumstances. Why is this so crucial? Because, in a world that constantly pressures us to conform and adapt to the expectations of others, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We're often told that to fit in, to maintain relationships, or to avoid conflict, we must compromise on things that define us. But the Stoics knew better. They understood that our integrity, our peace, and our sense of purpose are sacred, and compromising them is a path to personal destruction. So, today, we'll explore what Stoicism has to say about the things you should never sacrifice, no matter who you're dealing with. You'll learn how to protect your inner strength, remain true to yourself, and prioritize the things that truly matter in life. This isn't just about theoretical philosophy. It's about practical wisdom that can help you navigate the complexities of life, relationships, and the inevitable challenges you'll face. But before we dive deep into these powerful Stoic lessons, take a moment to engage with this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to build a life of purpose, integrity, and self-respect, and share your thoughts with us in the comments below. We love hearing how Stoic philosophy has shaped your journey. Let's get started, because what you're about to learn could completely reshape how you live, interact with others, and protect the most important parts of your life. Stay with us as we unlock the keys to staying true to yourself in a world full of distractions and demands. 1. Your integrity. Your integrity is the foundation of who you are. It is the invisible force that guides your decisions, shapes your character, and determines how you are perceived by the world. Once compromised, it is nearly impossible to restore to its original state. Stoicism teaches that living with virtue, honesty, justice, courage, and wisdom is the highest good. No amount of success, approval, or personal gain is worth the cost of betraying your principles. If you sacrifice your integrity for anyone, you lose the very essence of what makes you strong, reliable, and self-respecting. Society often tempts us to bend our values to fit in, to please others, or to achieve faster success. You might feel pressure to lie to protect someone's feelings, to cut ethical corners to get ahead, or to stay silent when witnessing wrongdoing. But every time you do, you chip away at your own moral compass. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius advised, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This simple yet powerful principle is the key to a life of honor. No situation, no person, and no amount of pressure should force you to go against what you know is right. Integrity is tested in both major and minor moments. It is easy to uphold your values when the stakes are low, but what about when everything is on the line? When your job, your reputation, or your relationships are at risk. This is when many people give in, making excuses for their choices. They tell themselves that just one lie, one act of dishonesty, one small compromise won't matter. But in reality, every compromise weakens your moral foundation. Over time, these small betrayals accumulate, and before you know it, you've become someone you no longer recognize. Think about the most respected people in history, figures like Socrates, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus. They were not admired for their wealth, power, or charm. They were respected because they lived by their values, even when it meant standing alone. Socrates chose death over betraying his principles. Marcus Aurelius ruled as emperor with wisdom and virtue, refusing to let power corrupt him. Their integrity was unshakable, and that is why their legacy endures. If you want to live a meaningful life, your integrity must be non-negotiable. Never sacrifice your integrity. It is the one thing that cannot be taken from you. It can only be given away. When you protect it, you gain something far more valuable than wealth or status. You gain self-respect, trust, and an unshakable sense of purpose. You walk through life with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you remain true to yourself. That is the ultimate strength. 2. Your peace of mind. Your peace of mind is one of the most valuable assets you have, yet it's often the first thing people sacrifice in relationships, jobs, and everyday life. In a world filled with distractions, demands, and emotional manipulation, it's easy to let external forces dictate your inner state. But once you give away your peace of mind, you lose control over your life. The Stoics understood that true strength comes from mastering your emotions and refusing to be disturbed by what is beyond your control. When you protect your peace, you maintain clarity, resilience, and the ability to make sound decisions. Peace of mind doesn't mean avoiding conflict at all costs or living without challenges. It means cultivating an inner fortress, an unshakable sense of calm that remains intact no matter what happens around you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that while we cannot control events, we can always control our response to them. This is where true power lies. If you allow every rude comment, every minor setback, or every unpredictable situation to rob you of your peace, you become a slave to external circumstances. But when you train your mind to remain steady, you become untouchable. There will always be people who try to pull you into their chaos, those who thrive on drama, negativity, and emotional outbursts. They will attempt to drag you into arguments, provoke reactions, or burden you with their problems. But their turmoil does not have to become yours. A Stoic recognizes this and chooses detachment over reaction. You do not need to engage in every fight, respond to every insult, or fix every situation. You are not responsible for carrying the weight of other people's emotional instability. Your responsibility is to maintain your own mental clarity and emotional balance. Consider how much stress and suffering come from being overly invested in things beyond your control, what people think of you, how they behave, the unpredictability of life. The more you attach your inner peace to external factors, the more fragile it becomes. The key is to shift your focus inward. Instead of seeking peace from circumstances or other people, cultivate it within yourself. This means practicing self-discipline, setting boundaries, and learning to let go of what doesn't serve you. If a situation is draining your energy and disturbing your inner balance, you have every right to walk away from it. One of the most powerful Stoic exercises for maintaining peace of mind is the practice of negative visualization, mentally preparing for worst-case scenarios so that when they arise, they do not shake you. Another is voluntary discomfort, deliberately exposing yourself to minor hardships to build resilience against life's inevitable difficulties. These practices train you to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity, making you immune to unnecessary stress. Your peace of mind is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It affects your health, your relationships, your ability to think clearly, and your overall well-being. When you allow external forces to disrupt it, you weaken yourself. But when you guard it fiercely, you gain an unbreakable advantage. No argument, no disappointment, no act of betrayal should have the power to destroy your inner world. The moment you prioritize your peace above all else, you gain control over your life in a way few people ever do. Never sacrifice your peace of mind for anyone. Protect it with the same intensity that you would protect your physical well-being, because without it, everything else in life suffers. When you hold on to your inner calm, you operate from a position of strength, wisdom, and true freedom. 3. Your self-respect. Self-respect is the foundation of your confidence, dignity, and sense of self-worth. It defines how you see yourself and, in turn, how others treat you. In Stoic philosophy, self-respect is inseparable from virtue, living according to your principles and standing firm in your values. The moment you sacrifice your self-respect for someone else, you give them power over your identity. You become dependent on their validation, approval, or acceptance, rather than standing firmly in your own sense of worth. True self-respect isn't about arrogance or pride. It's about knowing your value and refusing to accept anything that diminishes it. The world constantly tests your self-respect. It happens in relationships where people push your boundaries, at work when you're asked to compromise your values for success, or in friendships where you're pressured to fit in. The moment you allow someone to disrespect you without consequence, you send a signal that it is acceptable. Over time, this erodes not just your confidence but your entire sense of self. The Stoics were clear on this. No external force, no person, no situation, should have the power to make you compromise your dignity. You alone determine your worth, and that is something you should never give away. Think about times when you've allowed yourself to be treated in ways that went against your self-respect. Maybe you tolerated disrespect in the name of love. Maybe you accepted unfair treatment at work because you feared confrontation. Maybe you silenced your opinions to avoid conflict. Each time, a piece of your confidence was chipped away. And once that pattern starts, it becomes harder to break. But the moment you reclaim your self-respect, you send a different message, not just to others, but to yourself. You reinforce the idea that you are worthy of dignity, fairness, and respect. Stoicism teaches that external validation is fleeting and unreliable. One day, people might praise you. The next, they may criticize you. If your self-worth is tied to their opinions, you will always be at their mercy. That's why a Stoic self-respect comes from within. It is built on inner virtue, wisdom, and discipline. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reminded himself daily not to waste time worrying about what others thought but to focus on being a good person. If you live with integrity, your self-respect will be unshakable, no matter how others treat you. To protect your self-respect, set clear boundaries and enforce them without apology. Don't allow anyone to manipulate you into doing things that go against your values. Walk away from situations where your dignity is not honored. Speak up when necessary, not to prove a point, but to stand firm in what you believe. The more you practice this, the stronger your self-respect becomes. You no longer tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or mistreatment, not because you demand it from others, but because you refuse to accept anything less from yourself. Never sacrifice your self-respect. It is the core of your strength, your confidence, and your ability to navigate life with dignity. The moment you stand firm in your worth, the world adjusts to meet you at that level. 4. Your sense of purpose. Your sense of purpose is what gives your life direction, meaning, and fulfillment. It is the driving force behind your ambitions, your discipline, and your resilience. Without it, you drift through life, easily influenced by the expectations of others. Too many people abandon their purpose for the sake of relationships, societal pressures, or temporary comfort. But once you sacrifice your purpose for someone else, you lose a part of yourself that may never return. Stoicism teaches that every individual has a role to fulfill, something that aligns with their strengths, virtues, and passions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself I have to go to work, as a human being. What do I have to complain of, if I'm going to do what I was born for?" This means that every person has a duty, a responsibility to pursue what gives their life meaning. Whether your purpose is to build something great, serve others, or master a skill, it is uniquely yours, and no one has the right to take it from you. Yet, people will try. There will be those who tell you that your goals are unrealistic, that you should play it safe, that you should sacrifice your dreams for their comfort. Some may even demand that you put your aspirations aside to focus entirely on them. They may disguise it as love, loyalty, or responsibility, but in reality, it is control. They want you to conform to their expectations rather than pursue what truly fulfills you. But Stoicism reminds us that we are not here to live according to someone else's script. We are here to fulfill our own potential. Losing your sense of purpose leads to frustration, resentment, and regret. When you neglect your calling to accommodate someone else's desires, you end up feeling empty. You wake up one day and realize that the years have passed, and you've done nothing that truly mattered to you. You may have pleased others, but at the cost of your own fulfillment. This is why protecting your purpose is an act of self-respect. No relationship, no friendship, no societal expectation is worth sacrificing the very thing that makes you feel alive. This doesn't mean you should be selfish or ignore the needs of others, but there is a difference between compromise and complete self-abandonment. You can support others while still staying committed to your own path. You can love someone and still pursue your personal mission. The moment you give up your purpose to satisfy someone else, you give away your freedom. True fulfillment comes from staying on course, regardless of who approves or disapproves. Never let anyone convince you that your purpose is insignificant or that you should give it up for their sake. The world does not reward those who abandon their potential, it rewards those who persevere despite the obstacles. Your purpose is your compass. Guard it fiercely, pursue it relentlessly, and never let anyone take it away from you. In the end, your integrity, your peace of mind, your self-respect, and your sense of purpose are not things to be negotiated, bargained, or sacrificed for the sake of anyone. These are the pillars that uphold a life of strength, fulfillment, and authenticity. The moment you give them away, you weaken yourself. But when you protect them, you become unshakable. The Stoics understood that true power comes from within, not from wealth, status, or approval, but from the ability to stand firm in who you are. In a world that constantly pressures you to conform, the greatest act of defiance is to remain true to yourself. So ask yourself, are you living according to your own values, or are you giving them away piece by piece to satisfy others? The choice is yours. But remember, once you sacrifice these things, getting them back is never easy. Choose wisely. If you found value in this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and let us know in the comments which of these 4 things you refuse to sacrifice. Stay strong, stay focused, and keep rising above.